Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where we are live and exclusive on Top Split TV for round 8, season 23 of Sunday Night Lights, where, of course, we're back at Imola this week. And I'm your host, Alex McKellar. Joining me once again, I think he's back, is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big night of racing ahead of us by the looks.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. We got a bumper strength of field here with 4,400 on the nose, and 18 of some of the fastest Skippy drivers we can assemble on a Sunday night, and it should be an absolutely excellent race.
Yeah, he's hoping, mate. Looking forward to having a big one. I might grab some sound there so we can hear the folks driving around. There we go. And what else have we got here? I'm going to try and find some people out on track that we can see who's out and about. And of course, Nagai-san 2.0 is back for another crack at the title this week. Of course, Japanese driver doing pretty well this season and showing a new style out there. There's another Japanese driver there, but I'm looking for Sam Kuitert, real quick driver for Racecraft Esports. He is also out there for another go this week. Haven't seen him too often, but when he's been here, he's been fast. Julian O'Fray from Redface Racing, of course, joins us once again as a three-plated car, leading ANZ, at least in terms of the seedings. Leading ANZ driver is Brett McFlabby Racing McBurney in the four-car tonight. Giuseppe Tellini, the five-plated car, here tonight in this bumper field, Corey.
And continuing the Italian invasion, we got Loris Amadio in the six-plated car here tonight, Alex, and also from Italy, Matteo Grimaldi in the seven-plated car, Danny Blanco in the eight from Iberia, and Tyson Meyer in the nine car from Midwest USA. Pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that is Mr. Quirk, which will be absolutely exciting. I don't think he's expecting this to be such a big race. But awesome to see him here racing, and a 10-plated car from California here tonight, Alex, Mr. Chris Herrera.
That's right, Quirk Tyres joining us for a surprise visit, and I'm sure no one's more surprised than he is, just quietly. Anthony Katz here, the 11-plated car from UK&I. Next ANZ driver, of course, Donald Sabinal, the newly minted Team Milo driver. Great to see him out there and some local representation as well. We've got Rafael Stockmal Murwicki. Jeepers, there's a mouthful. He's joining us, I think, for his debut here tonight. And then we got 14-plated car Alessandro Bulgari. He's joining us from Italy as well. Tobias Ritt, who's got some pace as well. The 15-plated car and the aforementioned 16-plated car of Takumi Yamato from Japan. 17th, Simone Zamolo. And 18th, rounding out your field of drivers here tonight, is Vasco Serovsky. Doesn't sound like an ANZ club member, but certainly that's the flag on the dial, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. That's the club that I'm seeing on my screen as well. So, and it's not his first time here with us either. I'm pretty sure this is his second or third week racing with us, and he had a really good result last week, if I do remember so correctly. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was a nice, good, solid top 10. It's going to be interesting to see what some of these drivers can do as we're going to start getting first lap times in now, Alex, as everyone's starting to cross the line.
Yeah, Frey Sabinal 1-2 Nagai's just about to go across 204.5. That's fairly flying on a quali lap, just quietly. We know Nagai-san can do a decent lap in quali too. He's been known to sacrifice his first lap. Oh, big bit of the curb as he went through the opening chicane at Tamburello there. And in favour of just getting that one quick lap in. But either way, he's lightning fast in quali. But it's actually Kuito that's jumped to the top of the tree first time round, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And it's been a really big battle here between Sam and Nagai's son, especially in the warm up race. Unfortunately, Sam suffering a money shift and blew his engine in the penultimate corner, which brought an end to his run and brought Nagai's son up towards the front of the field. I'm keeping my eye on Tyson Meyer here. It looks like he's just massively sacrificed his first lap And he's just crossed the start finish line here, and he's down in P11. So yeah, he sacrificed his first lap, only a 2:06. So hopefully we'll see big things out of Quirk here on the second lap.
Yeah, the geodesic driver, not known to frequent the skips too often, but it's quality, if I'm honest. Quality driver. He spent a lot of time in the sim and has the pace to show for it. Interesting to see how that translates into the skips tonight. We've got O'Fray sitting in P4 as he's closing out the later stages of his second lap as he comes down the hill into the Ravazza complex now to round it out. I'm just trying to see Kui Turt. He's getting close as well. O'Fray looks like to be the next one to cross. Tobias Ritt, the 15-plated car, is not too far behind him, if I'm honest, exiting the final corner out of Ravazza there at turn 18. But it's going to be O'Fray, the first of our leading drivers, to post his second time as he crosses the line this time round. Has he gone any better? He has, but only enough for second there. McBurney, Nagai-san's done it. He's gone to the top of the pops briefly. McBurney, what's he got? Kui Turt's on top again. What's McBurney got? He jumps up to P6, and that's all he can manage. Danny Blanco jumps up to P4. I'm just looking for those last finishes now. Tyson Meyer will follow him as he goes through Variante Alta. That final nasty chicane. Number of drivers will have adjusted their suspension this week, Corey, to try and tackle that one.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of time to be gained in that particular chicane, Alex. It's very deceptive on how quickly you can actually take it, as the 7-plated car of Grimaldi has just crossed the line, and he's improved to third. So now it's all up to Quirk, the last driver, I do believe, to finish off his lap here. And let's see what he can do as he comes past the pit entrance to the start finish line. He's down in 18th at the moment, and there's the line. And it looks like Tyson has not improved, staying down in 18th, Alex.
Yeah, he did indeed. His last lap was a 2:06.3. So that's about right. That's where he starts and where he finished, so to speak, in terms of quality and his laps. A couple of folks still out there grabbing cooldown laps, but that'll do us, actually. Why don't we check out our grid for tonight? The big one, it is Sam Kuito for Racecraft Esports off pole tonight, and in a welcome return for him. Naoya Nagai-san from Japan. Nagai 2.0 starting from the front row as well. Matteo Grimaldi from Italy out of third. Julian O'Fray for Red Face Racing out of fourth. Danny Blanco out of our last week's winner, if I'm not mistaken. He's won a couple of these, so looking to move forward from fifth off the grid. Tobias Ritt joins us once again. He starts out of sixth. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing out of seventh is the leading ANZ driver off the grid. Anthony Catt for UKNI, similarly for his club, out of eighth. Alessandro Bulgari from Italy out of ninth. Chris Herrera off 10th, joining him on the fifth row of the grid for running on empty racing. Takumi Yamato from Japan, the second of the Japanese drivers, starting from 11th. Simone Zamolo from Italy out of 12th. As we go to the next page, 13th, Rafael Stockmal Murawiki. He's out of 13th tonight. Laura Samario from Italy out of 14th. Giuseppe Tellini from Italy out of 15th. Donald Sabanal not qualifying as well as he would have liked, starting out of 16th for the Team Milo driver. Vasco Surovsky from ANZ out of 17th. Tyson Meyer, the geodesic racer, out of 18th off the grid here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, it's a great grid that we've got assembled here, Alex. As I said before, a 4,400 even strength of field. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys can handle the chicane down at Tabarello as the red lights mean rev. And the green lights mean go. And we're underway here for round number 8 at the Imola Raceway.
Absolutely, very famous track, of course, in Italy. We're not too far away from where we were in one of the early rounds of the F1 this season, of course, as the drivers come down into that first chicane. Getting it done here is vitally important, of course. It can make or break a race. And speaking of making or breaking, that looks like Catt and McBurney being tangled up there. They looked to have got away okay, surprisingly, but they got caught up in that first chicane there at Tamburello and managed to get away all right in the end by the looks. But the front pack now is racing away here, and these guys getting busy. And in fact, racing away. Kui Turt, no, I just spotted that, Corey. I thought he was away. It was just a bad camera angle. But look, this front pack now is absolutely led by Kui Turt from Nagai and Grimaldi.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And sitting there in fourth place is Alfrey. And, these guys, a six-car pack here to begin things off. And at the moment, they're not really getting away too much, although there is quite a bit of an air gap there to the second pack, which is being led by Chris Herrera right now. And let's just going over to the 10 car. And he's got a large line of skippies behind him, Alex. So these guys actually still have a chance of trying to catch back up to this front pack as they're getting into some very heavy defending here coming into the middle chicane.
Yeah, just saw Kuitert run very wide out of Variante Alta there. There's a slowdown out there. Them's where they hide on the exit of a turn, which is not often you see that. Indianapolis has one on the road circuit, of course, but Kuitert lucky to get away with that and using every bit of the circuit there, just trying to break the draft on this massive GP circuit. Massive by Skippy standards, of course, but these guys taking on that challenge nonetheless, as we see Grimaldi now make the move on Nagai-san, as O'Fray in the background looks to be defending a little bit, or he's taking the defensive line from Danny Blanca there as we head down towards the first chicane for the second lap.
Yeah, Danny Blanco, very aggressive driver, Alex. We've seen him be involved in a couple of incidents during the warm-up race. Hopefully, he has a much cleaner race this time. But it's still status quo. No one has changed positions in this top six. But I reckon the shuffling is going on in that second pack, as now Chris Herrera is no longer leading it. He relinquished the lead to Bulgari, but now he takes it back as we head through the Villeneuve chicane onto the hairpin, Alex.
Yeah, that's right. Coming down to the hairpin at Tosa for the second lap. Herrera joining us once again and leading his secondary pack, as you say. They've got a bit of a break from Amadio, who's leading out from Meyer, who's already up 7 positions, if you don't mind the geodesic driver, as he heads up the hill towards Piratella. He's doing very well early on, probably taking advantage of some others' misfortune, but also making some of his own, as Tellini leading the sole Milo driver in their Sabanal as they make their way down towards Aqua Minerale, one of the most fun and challenging sections on any track you'll find. As already the Team Milo driver Sabanal's got some front wing damage, which will absolutely hamper him around here. As we jump back up front, we see once again Kuito taking a massive piece of the exit there out of Variante Alta, that final chicane there, Corey, and he I don't know how he's not getting the slowdown there, to be honest.
He's definitely flirting with the edge of disaster there, Alex. That much is for sure. And it's going to be up to Nagai-san to try and take advantage of that if Kuito does end up going too wide. But let's see how these guys handle the pit straight here, because it's not really a straight. It's got a couple of little curves in it, which don't actually count as corners. But, you definitely got to turn the wheel to get around them, unlike some tracks and their little curves. And it's looking like so far still status quo at the moment. No one really changing position. But definitely the gap's closing up there as they're coming into Tamburello that time, Alex.
Yeah, very compressed in this lead pack of 6 there. Looks like O'Fray's getting very busy, looking to get himself into a podium contention there. Blanco and Ritt really working hard there. At some point now, we've seen the races here unfold previously where the drivers really have to think about when they make that move to get themselves further up in these packs because it's no good being buried in 5th and 6th come the last couple of laps when the chips are all on the table, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And, with the run coming out of the final corner, if you don't get a great run and you have to try and rely on the draft, you're not going to get the position before the start finish line, which is something that we've seen in the warm up race. Nagai-san just missing out by 0.03 of a second on the win there. And it was all just down to not getting as good of an exit as the car that was in front of him. So these guys are definitely going to have to start shuffling the decks soon. But that might be hard with Julian Alfrey suffering a little bit of an internet connection issue there, Alex.
Yeah, disappeared into a parallel universe briefly there, didn't he? But yeah, these guys working hard again. Look, Kui Turt. Either he knows the track limits exactly, or he's just winging it and hoping, because he is absolutely chewing up tarmac on the exit of that final chicane there at 14.15 as they come down to Ravazza on the tail end of lap 3 of 12 here tonight, folks. The 1 and the 2 car again. Oh, how many incident points has he racked up? It's not always reliable, but my telemetry has him at 8 already, Corey, and there's been no contact, so that's all just testing the track limits.
Oh, you definitely got to push the limits when it comes to racing here in the top split, Alex. Some more so than others, but it looks like this time we're finally going to see a change for the leaders. The Guyson was definitely a lot closer to Kuito at that time, coming out of the final corner, and that is now officially the Guyson into the lead. So we're probably going to start seeing a little bit of shuffling happen throughout this entire pack a little bit, because we've got less than 10 laps to go now. I think it's about 9 laps to go in this race. And these guys are going to just start ever so slowly turning up the temperature every lap until they can get to where they need to be in the pack, Alex.
Absolutely, and that'll work in some favour and of course against others, as we can tell. Obviously, interesting. Nagai 2.0 on full display there as he aggressively went into Tamburello at the start of lap 4. This time around, as we see O'Fray swing out to take a somewhat defensive line into a beautiful sweeping Piratello there. Gives all the exit there, all the AstroTurfers on the run down to the hill. As Kuiturt taking all sorts of lines here to sort of show the nose, let Nagai-san know that he's still in his mirrors. Meanwhile, Grimaldi, O'Fray, Blanco and Ritt looking for any opportunity they can get to get amongst it, as we see O'Fray forced to take varying lines just to make sure that the 7 car in front of him knows he's still there, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And I'm just having a little look back to see the progress on Maya. He's back in the 12th position right now in that 9 car. And looks like he's been caught by Tellini, Sabanel, and Savoski. And these guys having a nice little battle of their own in the back of the pack here as they're trying to catch up to that second pack.
Yeah, just ahead of them, you've got Chris Herrera leading his merry band of followers there. Actually, it's Bulgari just ahead of, just behind Herrera there in the pink number 10 car. You got Amadio Yamato, and then that pack led by Giuseppe Tellini with Meyer, Sabanal, and Sorovsky. 2 ANZ drivers trying to get themselves
3 wide for the lead, Alex.
3 wide for the lead as they come down to Tamburello once again. And it is Kuito looking to take command here. Nagai-san's been shuffled back a few spots there as O'Fray capitalised on compromised lines there to get into the provisional podium position there, Corey.
That's right, Alex. These guys just went from 3 to 11 in the space of about 3 seconds there, going 3 wide. And Nagai-san, the big loser in that one, going from the lead all the way back to P4. He's not going to be happy about that, especially with it being Nagai-san 2.0. So he's definitely going to have to try and make up that ground again and get himself back into a position in which he can fight towards that last lap, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. But it just goes to show how the decks can be shuffled so quickly in this front pack, right? These guys are willing to throw it in there, even at this early stage, which is quite remarkable, if I'm honest. They've got... and that cost them a fair bit to the guys behind. I don't know if Herrera... Oh, no, I beg your pardon, it didn't. No, they were still quicker. They're the fastest ones out on track at the moment, with exception of maybe Tellini, who's sitting behind Meyer. But these guys are still running nice quick times across top to tail in the pack. So it's not costing him anything. Oh, dead set, Kui Turd. He's giving me heart palpitations, Corey. Every time he goes through there, I think there's a slowdown about to pop through.
I think it might be just how much of that outside of the AstroTurf he's taking. If you notice, he's not taking very much of it at all. He's probably only out there for about 2 or 3 meters, and he quickly darts it back onto the track. So I think that's what's negating him getting the slowdown out there, which is very smart thinking, honestly, but can also lead to you getting that little bit too extra checked up coming out of that corner, which could make things hard. But on the main straight again, Will we see another move into the first corner? And we will, as the 7 of Grimaldi is trying to make a move for that lead now, Alex.
Yeah, it's Couture and O'Fray tucking behind. The guy settles for fourth this time round. Oh, as we see changes further back. Tellini having a battle there with Meyer still, and they are racing into Tamburello. Cars spread all over this track at the moment. Little pockets of excitement, dare I say, as we jump back up front with Grimaldi leading out from Couture, O'Fray, Nagai, Blanco, and Rit. We've still got this 6-part. We've seen them 12 deep here, but this pack of 6 cars are certainly going to keep it interesting nonetheless, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And I think we've definitely got pockets of excitement because when you were talking about Tyson before, I was having a look back there and definitely a couple of battles going on just ahead of them as well. A couple of cars putting it off the track and just getting checked up. And it's all crazy business towards the middle and the back of the pack. But this front pack at the moment, it's calmed right back down again. They went from 3 to 11 and now they're back at about a 4 or a 5 at the minute as far as their temperament goes. But very easily, as we saw previously, Alex, they could turn it right back up to 11 at the drop of a hat.
Absolutely can, Corey. As the Ducks and Drakes continue, different lines being shown and taken on the approach, but once the braking zone hits into that final chicane, it's all serious racing lines because that is one of the big challenges of this circuit and any other, to be honest. It's a very challenging one. Again, like I said, plenty of folks adjusting their suspension this week to make sure they get through there okay. As we see Kuito tucked in behind the 7 co's leading this race. Look how close he's riding up behind him, Corey, putting all sorts of pressure on the leader at the moment. And then pulls right out, says, I don't want the draft quite yet. I want to have the right timing. Well, did he in fact get a slowdown? He's been pushing the limits so much. There are a couple of very strong slowdowns here at different corners, and there we go. He's forced now to attack from the outside, and O'Fray's all over the back of them this time round, looking to find a way through. There's 2 very wide skippers in front of him. Will Nagai attack? No, he's reverting to previous versions. Nagai 2.0 has been rolled back to 1.0, and he's not attacking at this stage, although, you know, cooler heads prevail, as they say, Corey, as he shows the nose once again coming into Villeneuve this time round on the approach. Really nice sweeping chicane there. So really nice flow to this track when you get it right. As once again, these guys showing the nose everywhere, Corey.
Well, at the end of the day, Alex, you can make a move at any corner. Whether it's a smart move or not is another question. But these guys definitely maybe just try to put each other off their games a little bit. You know, just cause small little mistakes here and there. So it's always the small mistakes that lead to some of the best battles. And you can definitely see Alfrey getting very aggressive there behind that 7 car, trying to look for a way. Oh, I was going to say he's not going to go for a move down in Aqua Vinarale, is he? But no, just showing the nose, but still staying in third, although they might start making a move here as they come towards the chicane, Alex.
Yeah, it was started the second half of the race this time round, so the temperature will begin to rise as they come through that final chicane once again, mounting every bit of the curb and more that they can. 2 wheels outside the green there once again for Kuitert. He's still getting away with it, so he's doing very well. He's the one using the most of the track, and that puts him up front by the looks of it. Amadio now having an ongoing battle with Herrera now for 7th and 8th with Tellini a fair way behind there, and he's got his own battle with Bulgari, Yamato and Maya in the thick of it with Sabanal hanging on to the back as well. He's putting pressure all over Mr. Quirketize there in the 9-plated car. Meanwhile, up front, as they cross the line to begin the start of lap 8 this time round. Side by side they go. Look at Nagai. He's putting all sorts of pressure over O'Fray. 3 wide. They go into the braking zone. They get it sorted. Nagai reduces speed to pull him behind, and it is, in fact, Kuitert that gets it done in front of O'Fray. Quality driving there to maintain that sort of speed and control. Absolutely, there was lifting and braking there that just let them go line astern. As 2 by 2 they continue this time through Villeneuve. As we see the exit from Kuitert getting it done. Will he go around the outside at Tosa this time round? 2 by 2 they still go. Kuitert around. Oh, there's a big net code there. Grimaldi's dead as we continue up front. O'Fray's dropping like a stone as well. He's got damage, you can see. He's not going anywhere fast. We're down to 4 in the front, Corey.
And that's what I was saying before, Alex. They could turn it right back up to 11 at any time, and they did just then, as Nagai's son, the smart but aggressive driver, taking up the P2 mantle again behind Kuitert. But Kuitert is now out to about an 8 tenths of a second lead over Nagai's now, so he's almost out of the draft range there, Alex, but just not quite, and that's just enough for Nagai's to try and reel back in that margin a little bit.
Yeah, we've lost Meyer too. Myers had a big one. I might go check out what happened to him. I saw him jump to the pits. That probably doesn't help. Oh, that is a big incident there. I'm just trying to see if I can spot the telemetry, but that's a nasty one here. He's missing the rear half of his car. I'll see if I can pick that one up later, Corey. But Quirketai's visit to the top Skippy race of the week has ended, I would suggest, a lot more poorly than he was expecting, as Kuitert now starting to run away with it.
Yeah, I just had a look at the replay, Alex. And it looks like Maya has had one small mistake coming through Tamburello, and yeah, unfortunately took two other cars out with him. But the battle for second is on in earnest right now. Danny Blanco, now that he has a sniff of a podium, wants to try and make it the middle step at the very least. Uh, Kuita pulling away from the guy's son ever so slightly here. It's about a 1.1 second lead, 1.2 seconds as they come out of Tamburello. That's going to make it a lot harder for Nagaisan to try and catch up. But the one thing he does have in his advantage, Alex, is he's got those two cars behind him where Kuitert is just all by himself out there out the front.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing him too much harm at the moment. Young Kuitert, the two-plated car here tonight, he is driving hard and fast, as they say. He's now 1.1 seconds. So, Nagaisan, he has got fantastic one-lap paces. He's almost actually starting to gap Blanco and Rit behind him. Nagaisan really pushing hard now, and he is starting to drop that gap ever so slightly. Bit by bit, and he's back to 1.0 as he heads through Aqua Minerale this time round. Kicks the apex, grabs a fair bit of the exit curbing. There is another massive slowdown there if you're not too careful. But Blanco has disappeared. No, he's back now from his parallel universe, is he? And yet, some network issues here tonight, and every bit of the track being used once again as that's. Oh, it's 1.1 seconds. I'm wondering if Nagai can catch him, Corey.
I don't know, Alex. I'm starting to think that he might not be able to because it's very hard to pull that gap when, especially the guy behind you, blinking out ever so slightly. So it's going to be hard for Nagai-san to try and catch Sam here, but I reckon if anyone can do it, it's going to be Nagai. I mean, on the main straight here, he's just flirting on the 1.2 seconds and maybe just bringing it down ever so slightly. It's going to be hard to tell until we see the gap when they get down towards the braking zone. But I don't think he's got the draft here, Alex.
No, he actually lost about a tenth down that bit, or half a tenth down that big front straight there. As behind we see Amadio and Herrera change places once again, doing their best to bridge what gap they can, but they're sitting about 7-8 seconds behind. They're going to be Buckley's are doing that. Tellini on his own. Oh, Herrera and Amadio swapping positions again. I'm wondering if Herrera picked up a bit of a slowdown there, Corey.
It's very possible he might have, Alex. As I said, there's plenty of sneaky little slowdowns all over the place on this track. And, it's very easy to pick one up, although Herrera still managing to hang on the back of Amadio there. So maybe it was just a little bit of a pass in the draft because he's definitely not losing any time there.
No, absolutely not. Just trying to pick up the next sort of action there. You got, is that McBurney leading from Zamolo and Sorovsky in a three-way battle there. Two ANZ drivers and sandwiching one of our Italian drivers here tonight. Sabanal running a lonely race for Team Milo. In the points, up 4 positions, so perhaps not as bad as you might think. And he's car number 12, sitting in 12th at the moment. There's worse nights out at the races as we jump back up front and we see as the drivers head out of the final chicane down towards Ravazza on the tail end of lap 10, there'll be 2 laps to go as they cross the line this time round. It is Nagai-san. He's now 1.4 seconds. Kuitert showing a clean pair of heels once the draft was broken and looking absolutely to run away with this one, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I think it's Kuitert's race to lose from here, but that doesn't mean that the battle is over yet because as far as second, third, and fourth is concerned between Nagai, Blanco, and Rit, the battle is definitely still on in earnest here, and they got 2 laps to try and get this sorted out here.
100% as 2 by 2 they go, or at least 2 wide, and Nagai-san showing every bit of maturity there, just letting Blanco through, and similarly Rit recognising it for what it was as we see Herrera and Amadio continue their battle side by side through the first chicane there. Herrera lifting slightly as he had the very compromised and tight through the second part of Tamburello that time round, but that battle rages on somewhat as the battle for second spot on the podium here tonight continues. This time Blanco, already a race winner this season, looking to do what he can. It's not likely to bridge a 1.6 second gap to who has been the fastest driver, who's actually, Kuito sets the fastest lap last lap, Corey, in clean air, 2:03.3, sparkling time for our race leader at the moment.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. That's an absolutely impressive lap time. And also, Sam, only about 4 seconds behind some lap traffic. I'm not sure whether he'll be able to catch Julian Alfrey in time for it to affect his race, but definitely something to consider because Alfrey could make a mistake somewhere along the track. No accidents happen, even though these are top split drivers. They are still only human. Oh, as Danny Blanco gets a little bit sideways on the exit of the chicane, and that has just well and truly opened the door for Nagai's son to come up on the inside. But Nagai decided to not go for that move, Alex, rather waiting for the pit straight where he'll be able to make that move and try and hold on to it.
Oh, you can just see the variations in braking there. You had as they exit through this final section now. This is where it's all going to happen. You got Nagai in probably the box seat there. Though the 15 of Tobias Ridd will be pretty happy with his position at the moment. It's actually Blanco's going to come under fire as we see 3 wide they go. There was not much track for Ritt there, but he made sure he used what was there. Nagai now tucks in front of Blanco. How are they going to go in this braking zone? It is Ritt who gets through the 15 car. Don't let the number fool you. He is fast. Nagai-san this time round, he will be looking for the draft out of the final corner. Not as... Oh, no, he's actually going to have a look into Villeneuve this time round. Tough to get it done through here, but he does get it done. He does. Beautiful driving there from the Japanese driver. Nagai-san 2.0 as Ritt grabs all sorts of dirt on the exit, compromises. Nagai-san driving away with his 2x2 behind him. Ritt and Blanco looking to try and see what they can do to hang on. But it'll be Blanco, no doubt, attacking up the hill towards Piratella this time round because it's the final lap, Corey, and that's what you do on the last lap.
That's exactly right, Alex, and we'll see moves where we never see moves the entire race. This time, Danny Blanco taking the advantage, running a little bit wider than Rit as they'll come in on the exit into Aqua Minerale now this time, and it's still going to be Blanco in front of Rit. It's not really an overtaking opportunity, although I have seen people attempt to make moves there, and I've been taken out by a few people trying to make moves there. As we move on to the chicane for the final time, Alex, it's going to be a crazy race for the last step on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. They get through that. Oh, taking plenty of air was Blanco that time round. Touching in with Herrera and Amadio side by side through that final chicane. Herrera grabs a big chunk of brakes. They were going to go nose to nose there and lose a wheel, I'm sure. Kuitert once again using all of the track through the final corner at Ravazza. He's going to get it done here tonight. And behind him, Nagai-san 2.0 is going to be happy with the podium, I'm sure, as it is Kuitert. Kuitert taking the round here at Imola here tonight. The two-plated car getting it done beautifully. Nagai-san coming in for P2 as P3 and 4 is Blanco and Rit. Well driven, sir, in this battle. Really finished at the final chicane between Amadio and Herrera, and they're coming across for 5th and 6th respectively as this battles all throughout the field. The little pockets that have kept us excited throughout tonight's race wind down to a conclusion, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I was just watching as McBurney just managed to get around Bulgari for the eighth position in what was a very close finish as well. But the last couple of little pockets of excitement still continuing on. I think the 13 cars all by himself, and he's going to be obviously very 13th. The 16 of Yamato is still on track, and so is Grimaldi in the 7, and they're going to finish 14th and 15th respectively here, Alex.
Yeah, big incident between O'Fray and the 7 car here tonight, and they will round out their nights way further down the field than they were likely expecting. As O'Fray comes out of Aqua Minerale for the final time in his disappointing race. One of the top drivers going around, and a gentleman none the less either. That's not very good England. Sorry, folks. As not quite as aggressive on the curbs that time round was O'Fray, but I guess there's no need to be, is there? He's just finishing it out and minimising what damage he can. Corey, what did you make of our race here tonight in the end there? Quite exciting throughout, and really showed how the different stories play out at a track like this.
That's right, Alex. And there's always stories each and every single week, as there is in real life racing, about the form guides and who's doing well, who's not. But that battle at the front of the pack before it got all kinds of split up was absolutely intense and amazing to watch. And we definitely need more of it. And I'm pretty sure next week when we go to the Holy Grail, that is the Bathurst Mount Panorama, we're definitely going to get some more action very similar to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that one as we go and check out our final results for round 8 of season 23 of Sunday Night Lights. Sam Kuito, dominant performance once given the opportunity for Racecraft Esports. He was out by 3.3 seconds from Naoya Nagai, who of course is no slouch himself, as we know. He's finished in second tonight. Danny Blanco from Iberia, he's in third. Tobias Ritt, he's joined us once again, and he's in fourth as they finished across the line here tonight. Loris Amadio won his battle with Chris Herrera for 5th and 6th respectively. That one decided at the final chicane, as so many races were here tonight. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing he's finished in 8th, I should say, the leading ANZ driver start to finish. Alessandro Bulgari from Italy out of 9th tonight. Simone Zamolo from Italy out of 10th. In terms of his finishing. 11th tonight was Vasco Sorowski from ANZ, and rounding out the Sunday Night Lights points in terms of finishes here tonight is Donald Sabanol from ANZ and Team Milo. 13th tonight was Rafael Stockmal Mirawiki. 14th tonight was the Japanese driver of Takumi Yamato, Matteo Grimaldi from Italy in 15th. Julian O'Fray for Redface Racing finished in 16th. 17th tonight, and a few laps down after his big incident, was Tyson Meyer. Shame to see Quirk finish that way. Hopefully we'll see him back at some stage soon. Anthony Catt from UK&I similarly, not where he expected to finish here tonight, all the way down at the tail end of the field. 12 laps down, so he died on lap 1, was Mr. Anthony Catt, Corey.
Yeah, and that's very unfortunate for Cat. He's always ready to pounce on the competition. He had a great race in the warm up, but unfortunately, it's all kitty litter for him in this race, Alex.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was indeed, as we chuck up the cars there and see if anyone wants to come and say good day. And actually, we do. We've got someone who'd like to come say good day, and it is Mr. Julian O'Fray. Julian, not the race you were looking for there, no doubt. Had a coming together there on the approach to Tosa there mid-race. Looked like a big bit of netcode set off the 7 car, and that set off a chain of events that ended your race, mate. How did you see that one taking place? You there, mate? We got you.
Yeah, 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 you with me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
We got you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm very disappointed. I race with guys who want a close battle, so I give them close battle, but I know my connection is not really good. I think don't manage the connection good too. But I can't resist to battle with guy. I just can't resist, and I'm very disappointed. One race of two finish with a ghost contact and the end of race.
Yeah, it is a shame. And can I tell you, Julian, I'm an advocate for managing that netcode, as you say. I don't think netcode is an excuse myself. We know we race on the internet, and we need to leave space. As much as we'd like to do that close racing more often, sometimes you've just got to leave that space. So it is an unfortunate part of internet racing and here on iRacing, but it's one we need to learn to live with. But it does end up sometimes in tears as well. So sorry to hear that that was your race here, mate. Hopefully next week, if you're back with us, it'll be a better one though, mate. Hopefully.
Yeah, 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 I hope. What track is next week?
We're at Bathurst, so it's only the walls you got to watch out for there.
Voila. Ooh.
Yeah, that's it. All right, mate. So, listen, thank you so much for joining us. We really do love having you both on the track and having a chat afterwards. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out to here tonight?
I just want to say a little thing to drivers in general. Some are comprehensive and understand a ghost contact or contact, just a contact can happen. But some other just insult driver who commit the fault, and that's not correct. I think we should not hear insult in this sport and in racing. It's not normal. No,
No.
I just want to say this.
Yep. Thank you, Julian. Yeah, so, like I said, certainly something we need to manage and learn to live with if we're going to enjoy this great experience that we have. So thank you, Julian. It's always great to talk to you and great to see you racing. So hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, see you next week, and bye bye. Thank you for your great stream. Yeah, bye.
There you go, Corey. Julian O'Fray, who unfortunately missed out tonight. And look, I've come to the opinion, like I said, that netcode's a part of life. And sometimes the connections are terrible and it happens, right? But typically, netcode, it is something that we need to learn to manage.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And we can't really get angry at other drivers, because of a netcode contact. I mean, we can if they're blinking out throughout the race, and there's contact because of it. But at the end of the day, if you know they're blinking, you got to just give them that little bit of extra space if they are trying to make an overtake, because at the end of the day, they're still trying to race as well. And Alfred is one of our top rated drivers. I know he's been running into a bit of bad luck and his connection hasn't been the best lately, but he's still right up there as far as our skilled drivers are concerned. And he went for a legitimate overtake, but unfortunately, there just wasn't enough give and take there as far as room is concerned from Grimaldi. And unfortunately, that did result in that contact.
Yeah, look, it is a bit both ways. I mean, managing your connection is also acknowledging when yours is terrible, and you know, sometimes. And I've seen people, not as many as you would like, potentially just sort of back out and say my connection's terrible. I'll let you guys race this one out, sort of thing. It's a balance. Everyone's competitive and everyone wants to do well, but you know, it's not a team sport, but certainly if we race together, we get more enjoyment out of it, and that's part of it, I think. So, anyway, that's that. That might do us here tonight, folks. Corey, tell the folks at home what you got on this week.
So on Tuesday, I'm returning to Raft with my buddy Super Penguin TV, which will be a little bit of fun. On Wednesday, we have the final round of the Output Racing League Season 1 for 2021 in the ARCA cars at the Legacy Phoenix Oval, which should be an awesome race. The championship's already decided, so everyone is just trying to race for that win. Um, of course, we've got Bathurst in the skippies this week, so I might have to do a couple of streams throughout the week of me attempting to race Bathurst without crashing too terribly much. NIS Friday morning. I was going to do it this week, but then I saw it was at Darlington, and I was just like, nope. But apart from that, Alex, it's just back here with you again next Sunday night to do this all over again.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, folks. Everything Top Split is on your screen at the moment. Don't forget, we're at our raffle this season. Every subscription to the channel, every gift sub, every $5 donation gets you gets you tickle if you like, but not from me. Gets you ticket in our end of season raffle for a $100 Steam voucher. It will be drawn on after the broadcast of the last race. Thank you to everyone who supported us so far. It's been a great response and we do appreciate it. Join us in the Discord where we do the broadcast and the race post-race interviews from the Top Split YouTubers, where you'll find this and all the other historic MNL and SNL race video replays. And of course, Corey and my channel here, Top Split TV, and Corey Has No Life 13. That's where you'll find us. And each and every week here on Top Split TV, we bring you the best show in town when it comes to Skippy racing. So thank you everyone for your support, both on track and off. This is a community stream done by the community for the community, and that's the way we like it. Until next time, folks, thanks for joining us. And on behalf of Chaotic One himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.